What is up? Big Tater here. Today we're going to talk about how to make a successful guild. The first thing is buying a guild charter. The next thing is finding signatures. Typically people pay for signatures. It is not recommended because those people typically do not stay. You want to basically recruit them like you're recruiting for your actual guild. You want to talk to them and stuff, get to know them or whatever, because they're basically going to be your founders of the guild. That's the best way, is just get to know them and stuff, and then they'll become officers at some point, because you'll know them, they'll know you, they'll understand your point of view and everything. Then you guys can decide, what is your guild going to be about? Is it going to be a social guild, a laid-back guild, family-oriented, stuff like that? I typically go with the laid-back social guild with some hardcore and casual put into it. Not so much family-oriented. I mean, I do make it family-oriented, but not so much as watching the language and stuff. That's how I run my guild. The next thing is, what type of members do you want? Do you want the laid-back members that are chill and everything, sociable, or do you want sarcastic members, stuff like that? Typically people like the laid-back people, and a lot of people like sarcastic people. So if you have a mixture of both, that's a good thing. What I mean by sarcastic people is typical jokes around, calls each other names as a joke and stuff like that. Next thing is guild recruitment. You can recruit from friends, which is recommended because they know you, you know them, and they understand how you work and everything. Old guildies are a good thing. So your old guilds that you were in, you can recruit your friends from that guild, stuff like that. You can play with people in order to join. You can use that by trade chat. You can basically use that as a recruitment placement. And then there's a add-on called SGI, which is Super Guild Invite. It's basically this. It tracks through the who list, and whoever's not guilded, you would see pop up here. Let me do it. Let me get an example. Let me power this thing up. So basically it'll track through, so you get all these members that are that are ungilded, and it'll send them a whisper if you do that. You don't have to invite them and whisper. You can change that by setting it to whisper only, and then you can invite them. Typically people would like to do that, but I would not recommend Super Guild Invite anyways. I use it, it's worked for me, but I wouldn't recommend it because typically in the past my guild has fallen apart because of inactivity, but I've been able to manage that pretty well in this guild. I have 181 members, 21 active, so I mean it works if you understand what you're doing and stuff, but I wouldn't recommend it. I recommend trade chat, friends, old guildies, playing with people, stuff like that. And then your officers is the main thing in that. You gotta have good, committed officers that are gonna enforce what you need them to enforce, encourage, whatever. Those typically are hard to get because they require a lot of loyalty, commitment. You must know them, they must know your point of view, they have to know the guild, so it's like a process. in the beginning you should have friends or old guildies, as you can consider them friends, but friends become officers because they know you, you know them, stuff like that. Raid recruitment. Basically you want to recruit within the guild first, and then recruit once you have all your members that you want in the raid team, either hardcore, casual, or if you have both, whatever. Recruit them from trade chat. You basically want to weave out the players that don't have a good experience, like they don't have experience with raiding, unless you want to give them a chance. But if they have experience with raiding, you typically want them in because they're more than likely going to know what they're doing. I usually just recruit from the guild since I have so many members, and I've created a raid team, a hardcore team, and a casual team, and we haven't raided yet, but we're working on it. PvP recruitment. If you're looking to do a PvP guild, I don't really know the new system, but basically it's just like leveling up by playing PvP, and you get to prestige. I'd say you'd want to recruit from like I'm pretty sure level 20 prestige, or not level 20 prestige, level 20, rank 20, or I don't know what it's called, but you want to get like in the middle of it, because those are the players that have been working at it and stuff. And then like if you want to do hardcore arenas and stuff, you can recruit the prestige players that have worked all the way up to prestige. Basically, all in all, it comes down to your officers, how your guild is laid out. Members will stay depending on if your guild is entertaining or not. You want to make sure players are communicating in guild chat. You want to make sure players are communicating in Ventrilo if they're doing guild dungeons or raids, or if they're just looking to chat. I usually encourage Vent to get to know each other in a more personal level. I'm just walking around Dollar and keep the eye moving. Basically, if your officers are enforcing everything they need to, encouraging, and they're very respectable about everything, your members will typically stay, but it also depends on your members as well. If your members are, you know, the elitist or the assholes or whatever, you want to try and boot them or talk to them or whatever. Basically, if you can have a rank where they just can't talk and chat, so you can like ground them or whatever, but that's what I do. But yeah, it all comes down to your officers, and then your members go off your officers, then your new members come off your new members come off your members. So basically it's like a big circle. And yeah, that's basically it. Tater out.